Most men believe cheating happens by accident, a bad decision, a moment of weakness. They think if a woman betrays them, it must have been a mistake, something she regrets, something that just happened. But the truth is far more unsettling. Some women are wired to cheat, not because they're bad people, not because they hate their partners, but because deep inside, something drives them toward betrayal. Their psychology, their habits, their patterns. These things make it inevitable. And the worst part, you won't see it coming. She'll smile at you. She'll tell you she loves you. She'll make you feel like you're the only man in the world. And yet one day, you'll find yourself blindsided, asking, how did this happen? The reality is, cheating doesn't start in the moment. It starts long before. In the small choices she makes, in the way she craves attention, in the way she seeks excitement, in the way she never truly lets go of the past. And if you don't recognize the warning signs, you'll be left standing there, trying to make sense of it all, while she's already moved on like you never existed. That's why today, we're going deep. We're exposing the types of women who are most likely to cheat. The ones who will make you believe in love, only to leave you broken when you least expect it. If you don't want to be that guy, if you don't want to learn this lesson the hard way, pay attention, because what you're about to hear might save you from a world of pain. Let's begin. She doesn't just want love. She wants to be seen, admired, desired. At first it's subtle. The way she lights up when someone compliments her. The way she seems to enjoy the attention of other men just a little too much. You tell yourself it's nothing. She's just friendly. She's just social. But over time, you start to notice patterns that don't sit right with you. The way she always finds a reason to mention how many guys hit on her. The way her phone is constantly buzzing with messages from male friends. The way she posts pictures that seem designed to attract attention, to invite comments, to keep a steady stream of validation flowing her way. No matter how much you give her, your time, your affection, your loyalty, it never seems to be enough. She needs more, not from you, but from the world. Social media is her playground, a place where she can collect compliments like trophies. She thrives on likes, comments, and messages from men who barely know her, but make her feel wanted. She swears it's harmless. She tells you she's just being herself. But deep down, you can feel it. She enjoys knowing that other men want her. She enjoys keeping the door open, just enough to keep them interested. At first it feels like a small insecurity on your part. Maybe you're overthinking it. Maybe you're just being possessive. But then the lines start to blur. She flirts, but it's just for fun. She keeps in touch with an ex, but it's nothing serious. She lets guys get a little too close, but she insists, I would never cheat. And yet with every new excuse, every little justification, the truth becomes harder to ignore. She doesn't see these things as disloyalty because to her, attention is a necessity. It's not about love, not about connection. It's about validation. She needs to know she still has options, that she's still desired, that no matter how much devotion you give her, she can always get more from somewhere else. And that's where things start to fall apart. The more you invest in her, the less she values it. It's the law of diminishing returns. In the beginning, your love, your compliments, your attention made her feel amazing. But now, she's used to it. It doesn't give her the same thrill anymore. She's already looking for the next hit of validation, and if she can't get it from you, she'll find it elsewhere. A co-worker who flatters her, a stranger who makes her feel sexy again, an old flame who suddenly reaches out. She tells herself it's innocent, but the truth is, she's testing boundaries. She's seeing how far she can go without technically crossing the line, and once she starts, she doesn't stop. She tells herself she's just talking, just flirting, just having fun, until one day she goes too far. And when it finally happens, when you find out, she won't even understand why you're so hurt. She'll say it didn't mean anything. She'll tell you she never planned for it to happen. She'll swear it was just a mistake. But the reality? It was never a mistake. It was always leading here. The craving for attention, the constant validation, the way she kept herself open to other men. It was all a slow build-up to the moment when she finally gave in. And here's the hardest truth. No matter how much you love her, no matter how hard you try, you will never be enough for a woman addicted to attention. Because it's not about you. It never was. It's about the void inside her that no single man can ever fill. And if you try to fix her, if you try to be the one who finally gives her all the validation she needs, you'll only destroy yourself in the process. So what's the only way to win? Walk away. Before you become just another guy she got bored of. At first she makes you feel like the only man in the world. The way she looks at you, the way she talks about you, the way she clings to every word you say, it's intoxicating. She showers you with affection, texts you constantly, tells you she's never felt this way before. Every moment with her feels electric, like you're living in some kind of dream. But what you don't realize is that this is the part she loves the most, the beginning, the thrill, the rush, the excitement of something new. For a while it's perfect. She seems fully invested, completely in love. But then something shifts. It's not sudden. She doesn't just wake up one day and decide she's done. No, it's gradual. First, she stops texting as much. Then she seems distracted when she's with you, like her mind is somewhere else. You ask if something's wrong, and she insists everything is fine. But deep down, you know it isn't. You can feel it. The spark fading, the energy changing, the excitement in her eyes slowly disappearing. At first you blame yourself. Maybe you've gotten too comfortable. Maybe you need to plan more dates, be more spontaneous, bring back the excitement you once had. So you try harder. You do everything you can to reignite the fire. And for a little while, it works. She seems happy again, engaged again. But it never lasts, because the problem isn't you. It never was. The truth is, she's not wired for stability. To her, love and excitement are the same thing. If a relationship isn't intense, if it isn't full of passion and unpredictability, it starts to feel boring. She doesn't understand that real love isn't about constant highs. That true commitment isn't about non-stop excitement. In her world, love is supposed to be chaotic. It's supposed to have ups and downs, dramatic fights, passionate makeups, uncertainty. That's what she's used to. That's what she craves. And when a relationship becomes steady, when she feels safe, when things feel normal, she starts to pull away. Not because she doesn't care, but because it doesn't feel like real love anymore. She might not even realize she's doing it. She might still tell you she loves you. She might still act like she wants things to work. But deep down, she's restless. And when that restlessness builds up enough, she starts looking for a way to feel something again. Maybe it starts with flirting, just to remind herself that she's still wanted. Maybe she picks a fight with you over something small, just to create tension. Maybe she suddenly starts going out more, partying, surrounding herself with people who make her feel alive again. And the most dangerous part, she'll tell herself it's harmless. But then one day she meets someone who gives her that rush again. Someone new. Someone who makes her heart race the way you used to. It might not happen right away, but it's only a matter of time. She tells herself she's just talking, just having fun. But in her mind, she's already halfway out the door, and the moment she gets a taste of that thrill again, she won't be able to stop herself. Because to her, love isn't about building something stable. It's about chasing the next high. And when she finally leaves, she won't understand why you're hurt. She'll say she didn't mean for it to happen. She'll swear she still cares about you. But the truth is, she was never going to stay. Not because you weren't enough, not because you did something wrong, but because she doesn't know how to be happy in a relationship without chaos. Even if you became more exciting, even if you tried everything to keep her interested, it wouldn't have changed anything. Because the moment things felt safe, the moment things felt too normal, she was always going to look for an escape. And that's why, no matter how much you love her, no matter how much you want to fix things, the best thing you can do is walk away, because you can't build a future with someone who is always chasing the next thrill. Some women don't just cheat once. For them, cheating isn't a mistake, a moment of weakness, or even something they regret. It's a pattern, a way of life, a thrill. They don't cheat because they're unhappy. They don't cheat because something is missing in the relationship. They cheat because they can, because they want to, because they enjoy the game. At first, she seems like the perfect girlfriend. She says all the right things, does all the right things, makes you feel like you're the only man she could ever want. She's affectionate, devoted, passionate. She looks at you with admiration, tells you how lucky she is to have you. And for a while, you believe it. You trust her. You let your guard down. But what you don't know is that this is exactly how she's reeled in every man before you. The same words, the same promises, the same love bombing that makes you feel like you finally found someone special. And then one day, you start noticing little things. She guards her phone a little more than before. She mentions a guy from work a little too often. She becomes distant, distracted, harder to reach. When you ask her what's wrong, she brushes it off, says you're overthinking, says you're being insecure. And maybe, for a while, you believe her. You don't want to seem controlling. You don't want to accuse her of something without proof. But deep down, something feels off. And then it happens. You find a message, hear a rumor, or catch her in a lie. Your stomach drops. Your heart pounds. You confront her, and at first, she denies it, swears she would never do that to you. But when the truth becomes undeniable, when she knows she's been caught, the act begins. The tears, the apologies, the promises. She tells you it was a mistake, that she didn't mean to, that she was feeling lost, confused, insecure, that it didn't mean anything, that it will never happen again. And you want to believe her, because you love her, because you've built something with her. Because you can't understand how someone who claimed to care about you could betray you like this. Maybe you think, if I forgive her, if I show her I'm different, if I love her enough, she won't do it again. But she will, because she's done it before. Psychologists call it compulsive infidelity, a pattern of cheating that isn't driven by circumstances, but by personality. These women don't cheat because they feel neglected. They cheat because they thrive on deception. The lying, the sneaking around, the risk of getting caught. It excites them. They enjoy the attention, the power, the ability to juggle multiple men at once. And when they do get caught, they know exactly how to manipulate the situation to their advantage. The cycle repeats itself like clockwork. She gets caught, she cries, she apologizes, she wins back your trust. And for a while, things seem good again. She's more affectionate, more attentive, more devoted than ever. She convinces you that she's learned her lesson, that she truly regrets what she did. And just when you start to believe things will be different, she does it again. The truth is, no man can change her. No amount of love, patience, or forgiveness will fix a woman who is addicted to the game. If she cheated on her last boyfriend, she will cheat on you. And when she does, she'll have the same excuses, the same tears, the same promises of change. But the moment she thinks she can get away with it again, she will, because that's who she is. And that's why the biggest mistake you can make is thinking you'll be the exception, that you'll be the one man who can make her loyal. You won't. Not because you're not enough, but because she was never capable of loyalty in the first place. If a woman has a history of cheating, don't believe for a second that you'll be different. The best thing you can do? Walk away before you become just another name on her list. She lives for the thrill of the night, loud music, flashing lights, the rush of being the center of attention. To her, a weekend without partying feels like a prison sentence. She thrives in the chaos of the club scene, surrounded by strangers, fueled by alcohol, and lost in the moment. She tells you she wants a serious relationship, that she's ready to settle down, but her actions tell a different story. At first you might not see it as a problem. Everyone needs to let loose now and then, right? She just likes to have fun. But soon, you start to notice patterns. Every weekend, she's out until 3 a.m. Her phone is filled with party pictures, half-drunk selfies, guys you don't recognize, tagged photos she never told you about. When you ask her about it, she laughs it off. "It was just a fun night," she says. "You're overreacting." But deep down, you know something isn't right. She's always surrounded by male attention, but she insists it's harmless. "They're just friends," she says, as she flirts, dances, and soaks in the compliments. She tells you she loves you, but when she's out, it's like she forgets you exist. Drunken texts from random guys disappearing for hours, vague explanations that never quite add up. These are the warning signs you can't ignore. And when you finally call her out on it, she has an excuse for everything. "It was just dancing. I was drunk. You're being insecure." She makes you feel like the bad guy for questioning her, like you're controlling or paranoid, but deep down, you know the truth. She wants the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility that comes with it. She enjoys having a boyfriend, but she also enjoys the freedom of acting single whenever it suits her. The truth is, she's not ready to give up the party lifestyle. To her, commitment feels like a cage. She craves excitement, spontaneity, and the rush of new experiences. Stability bores her. Routine suffocates her. And if she has to choose between a quiet night with you and another wild adventure with her party friends, she will always choose the thrill of the unknown. Maybe you think she'll change, that over time she'll grow out of it. That once she realizes how much you care, she'll settle down and leave the party life behind. But here's the hard truth. People don't change unless they want to. And a woman who has spent years chasing temporary thrills isn't going to suddenly wake up and become loyal just because you love her. She might say she wants a real relationship, but her actions prove otherwise. A woman who values fleeting moments of excitement more than loyalty will always put her own desires first. And if she constantly places herself in situations where cheating is easy, temptation will eventually win. It's not about being controlling or keeping her locked away. It's about recognizing that someone who thrives on attention from others will never truly be committed to you. The biggest mistake you can make is thinking you can tame her. That if you give her enough love, patience, and understanding, she'll eventually grow out of it. She won't. The party lifestyle isn't just a phase for her, it's who she is. And trying to build a relationship with someone who isn't ready to give up that life will only lead to frustration and heartbreak. A woman who prioritizes temporary fun over loyalty will never be fully invested in you. She may love you in the moment, but the moment something more exciting comes along, she won't think twice about chasing it. If her happiness depends on nightlife, attention from strangers, and constant stimulation, don't expect her to suddenly embrace commitment. The only thing you can do is accept the truth and walk away before you become just another guy she left behind while chasing the next thrill. If she still talks to her ex, there's only one reason. She's keeping a door open. She may tell you it's harmless, that they're just friends, that he's been in her life for so long, and it would be wrong to cut him off. But the truth is, when a woman refuses to fully close a chapter, it's because some part of her isn't ready to let go. At first it might seem innocent, a casual text here and there, a comment on social media. Maybe she even mentions him in conversation as if it's no big deal. But over time, you start to notice the patterns. Late-night messages, inside jokes that you aren't part of, moments of nostalgia that feel like small cracks in your relationship. She may not be cheating physically, but emotionally, she's leaving the door wide open. You can't build something real with someone who's still looking back. Even if she hasn't crossed any obvious lines, the fact that she still entertains his presence means she's mentally keeping a backup plan. And a woman who keeps a backup plan is a woman who isn't fully committed. It's not about being insecure, it's about respect. A woman who truly values her relationship will not keep past flames burning. She won't feel the need to hold on to someone she supposedly moved on from. If she's still texting, still meeting up, still making excuses for why he's important to her, then deep down, she hasn't truly chosen you. And if she hasn't chosen you completely, you're already losing. Most men believe that if they just love a woman enough, if they prove their worth, if they give her everything she wants, she will stay loyal. But the harsh truth is, loyalty isn't something you can force. Some women are simply not wired for it. Some will always need the validation of other men, no matter how much attention you give them. Some will always crave chaos, mistaking instability for passion, and some will always keep a backup plan, never fully committing to the man in front of them. If you ignore the signs, if you make excuses, if you tell yourself that you'll be the one to change her, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. You will waste months, maybe even years, chasing someone who was never truly yours to begin with. The signs are always there. You just have to be willing to see them. And once you see them, the smartest thing you can do is walk away before she makes you the fool. A man who respects himself doesn't beg for loyalty. He doesn't tolerate disrespect. He doesn't ignore his instincts just because he hopes things will get better. He recognizes the truth, accepts it, and moves on. Because in the end, the right woman won't make you question her loyalty. She won't need constant validation. She won't thrive on chaos. And she won't keep a backup plan. She will choose you fully. And that's the kind of woman worth waiting for.